Right then, last minute live stream decision. Wasn't feeling it today, but felt the need. I was going to watch it anyway. So why not? Let's get on the stream. Somebody just type something in chat, say hi, just to check we're alive. That would be cool. How many guys we got here tonight? Be right with you. I'm just setting up a bit last minute, so looks like there's a couple of people there. Not sure. Hey, nice one. Hi, Peter. Hi, Johan. Nice to see you both. No worries, man. If I can make the effort, I will do. If I can't race, I'll try and commentate. Yeah, it's been a tricky couple of weeks. I wasn't very well a few weeks back. Had a bit of a scare where I'm having to take it easy. I'm off work for a bit, so it's been interesting getting my energy levels back to where they need to be, kind of ebb and flow in a day. So yeah, absolutely. My audio is terrible, man, because it's on an integrated webcam on top of my screen. So yeah, I could go for a boom mic. I am looking. I've got a brother-in-law in high places. So he used to still has contacts at Focusrite who do all the Scarlet and the streaming stuff, and I'm looking for cheers, Peter. Yeah, I'm looking out for they do this really good one, a sort of podcast focused one, where you've got a bit of a mixer on it as well, and it comes with a really nice mic as part of the kit. So hopefully, yeah, I know it's you, Vitaly. Cheers, man. Yeah, so hopefully I'll have if I do a bit more streaming, I'll do that. But I'm still quite new to this. The only the third one I've done. Trying not to wear myself out. So yeah, anyway, good to see a few people in chat. Yeah, sorry you can't race tonight as well, man. That's a shame. So I don't know how you feel about Donnington. It's a funny track, right? It's yeah, it's a funny track. I think a lot of the Brit drivers like driving it, and if you like GT4, you like driving it. It's got that vibe about it, I think. So yeah, it's a good track if you like that sort of track. I'm a big fan of Alton Park. Yeah, I totally understand people who hate Alton Park. In your top three, nice one, Peter. Yeah, it's a good track. You know, I like driving Donington, but I can't go fast here. I've just had the same thing last night at Zolder. I'm just about a second off the pace, always at least a second off the pace, and it's something to do with the slow corner exits I need to work on. So yeah, I'll get there one day. But hey, enough about me. It's time for quali. Let's get on the live big screen. Should be streaming okay. Yeah, Craig's got a new livery, Nikos, isn't that right? So let's have a little look. Hold on a second. Just got to get this right. I know why you're here, Nikos. Is it for the racing or is it for the sexy liveries? Who knows? I think I know. Let's have a little look. I'll just turn off auto cam. It's a nice feature on the freebie race control of auto cam at the moment that saves me a bit of bother. Craig's new livery. That looks familiar, based on previous Addy Dad livery, which was a bit of a meme for him, wasn't it? That's what you're looking for. Yeah. Sure thing, Vitaly. Yeah, having a cockpit. I mean, I've got a very basic. I've got it second-hand Sparco rig, but even that is light years ahead of the setup I had before on a wheel stand. No matter how much I bolted it to the floor, it was moving all over the place. So yeah. No, got to go for it. Got to go for the rig. All the enablers in this group will help you do that. It's no problem at all. They'll convince you to spend your hard-earned cash on things that you don't need. No, but you need it. Of course you need it. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Donington. I mean, I think it's a great track. I think it's a tough track for overtaking. I think it invites a bit of chaos at the chicane. I think it's a great couple of sections of track coming down the hill. Let's put this auto camera back on actually, because it's just going to focus on where the action is, and I can talk a little bit hopefully, because it's just me running solo tonight. Hold on 1 second. I just need to get down to my my race control stuff because it's off the screen at the minute. Where is it? Okay. Broadcasting. Right. Just put it on there for an effort. I'll keep it on basic. Let's just have a look who's out there. So yeah, Peter's out. I think, is he ahead on track as well? Yeah, he's putting in the first flying lap. So yeah, great track, but it is hard to overtake on. I think on the other hand, you do depend on a lot of people making mistakes on this track. It's easy just to run a tyre wide, stick it on the grass, and yeah, suddenly you've lost, especially on this straight in particular, you lose a lot of speed into that chicane. Then it's fortune favours the brave, I think, through here a lot of the time. See who's willing to break last, and can you go side by side? Not really. It's whoever gets the line first, I guess. Then coming at the hairpin now, just we're coming onto the first flying laps. Let's just see what anybody's doing. So Peter's on his first lap at the moment. We're just looking at Matthias, I think it is, Matthias Homburg. So where are we with this championship and the positions at the moment? I'll give you a quick rundown, actually. I'll be very quick, and then we can get back to that action. So championships, season 3, group 1. So at the moment, and this is also discounting the 2 worst results, so don't take this as gospel, but leading the pro in this group is Rich Gasson in the Huracan, the Evo 2 Huracan, but only by a couple of points. Super close there if you look at discounting the 2 worst. In fact, it's incredibly close in the top 7 or 8. You know, there's really not a lot in it. I'm just looking at that now. So Rich Gasson, Paul Sims hot on his heels. I'd say hot on his heels. He's 9 points behind. Then the gaps are really close. John Cullingworth on 48, but that may or may not include a 10-point penalty. It's odd the way the system works. Dan Moffat, Trevor Waite, Dave Sparks, and I think Dave Sparks in particular, we'd be, he's very competitive. I think he missed a race though, so that's why he's down in 6th at the moment. Chris Bourne, P7 in the Merc, representing there in the Merc. Then Luciano Molino, Murch is in 9th, and then Dave March in 10th as well. And this is only 20 points separating that top 10. So it goes from 58 points down to 37, and between 37 and 48 takes us all the way from P10 up to P3. So that pretty much covers that off. Okay, so what we're looking at here, Rich Gasson just here putting out a pretty good first lap. His first lap he's put in is a 127.4, pretty much 0.5, which it ain't bad. Let's just change that view actually. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, we can see the gaps now on the top 8 on the left hand side, which is a bit more useful, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, Rich put it in. What is he? A couple of tenths quicker on that lap. Still P3 though. Wolf Slenner at the moment, I'm just going to disable this auto cam now so I can concentrate. At pushing it out front, he's still leading on track because he went out first out of the pits, but in 127.1, closely followed by Dave Sparks, 127.2. But he's had a good, he's got best sector 1 in that BMW, but I can't see the other sector times, but we're looking at very close on their times here as well. Rich Gasson in P3 at the moment, 27.3. John Cullingworth is there in the Beamer on a 27.4. Let's just pop to TV2. Chris Bourne's currently sitting P5 in quali, 9 minutes to go now on a 27.535. And then we've got just behind them, let's actually have a little look here, TV1. Oh, well done, Donnington. Come on. Kamara's just jumped into P6, and just as I spoke, and I've missed it, but if I went back 30 seconds, you would have seen Dave Sparks coming over the line to take pole provisionally with a 26.7. That is a flyer. I think the Bimmer goes well here. It's a little bit twisty. It's a good track for the BMW, but Peter's Porsche should be going pretty well here too, I would imagine. And again, I think he's got more to give, but we'll see how he goes. Okay, let's look at who else is lighting up the boards at the moment. Nobody on an exceptionally good lap. Let's look down the field a little bit. Kamara got up to P7 there in the Ferrari. So again, he is leading the Pro-Am category provisional pole there in P7. However, it's pretty close. Holmes in P10 is second in class at the moment. Matthias Holmberg is 231 there. He is third in class. And Richard Cook hot on the heels. Those guys are all separated by 2/10. So the top 4 in class separated by 2/10 there at the moment. That is absolutely stunning, isn't it? So really close group. We've got Larson here's on a bit of a flyer. He was 2/10 up. It's dropped a little bit through the hairpin there. But let's see what he can do coming round to complete his flying lap. It's on a 27.5 at the moment. So this could push him up to 4th, maybe 3rd. There you go. Good lap. Good lap. In fact, he pulled that back, didn't he? He did. He pushed out another 10th on that, just on the start finish there. So that's good work. Who else is on a bit of a flyer? Dan Moffat. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he was looking like so. Or has he just done a flying lap and he's gone off track? Okay, Kamara again. He's still ahead in class by a couple of tenths, but he's a 10th up on his previous best time. Wolf Slenner is out on a lap, actually. I think he's on a lap. He's on a warm-up lap. Just going for that pole. Let's just see what else we've got here. Anyone significantly up? I'll come back to Holmberg. I'm just looking for a second at Jordan McNair. It's on a pretty good lap. He's down in P17. Where did he get to there? And he's pushed himself up. He was in P20 odd. So he's up to P17 again in class. That puts him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in class at the moment, just ahead of Mr. Christopher and Colin McNair. Colin, you got some work to do. Jordan's just nipped ahead of you. We can't be having this, can we? Yeah, the Gasson. I'm just looking at a couple of the comments. Sorry, multitasking is not my forte, guys, but do my best. I'll just put it on auto cam again for a minute and have a little look at the comments. It should jump off Jordan in a second. Yeah, so Sparks still out there with that 126.7. Nobody's beaten that yet. Luciano Molino is in P15, making a pretty good bid to get himself up from P15. Let's see if where he gets to. There we go, P9 for P15. That's pretty good. He's pushed himself back up there. Wow. Okay. Thijs Holmberg has gone fastest in class. He's now P6 on the grid. Kamara's slipping down now because we got Holmberg in class, Brown P2 in class, Holmes directly behind, and Kamara directly behind him. So it's really it's nip and tuck for those guys, and again punching above their weight a little bit as well, pushing down some of the pro drivers as well. 5 minutes to go in quali. Let's just have a little quick look at the. Let's focus on who's on a good lap. Thomas is on a pretty good lap here. He's 3/10 up on his best. P24 at the moment. I know he's capable of a lot faster than that, so he must just be trying to hook up a good one now. Yeah, look at this, nearly half a second up. What's he gone up to? Only P23. That's tough. That's tough. He's yeah, looking to put in a good lap or two, I think. Chaskam, nobody at the top is on a flyer at the moment, so let's just focus a little further down the grid. 29 drivers on track tonight, which is really fantastic turnout. So yeah, just having a little look at the. Yeah, Neil, not a Donnington fan. No, it's a funny track. It doesn't. I don't know. I guess it's rewarding when you get used to it, but yeah, it's a tough one to learn to love, especially this chicane, because it seems to invite abuse, yet ends in tears too much of the time, and ends in drive-throughs, which is a tough one. Yeah, good streaming setup, Nikos. Yes, Nikos. I mean, being here for Liveries A and Carnage B, I mean, there is an equal balance there. I imagine a little bit carnage, as Mr. Bourne would say. Yeah, let's have a little look. Yeah, Vitaly, absolutely. If you got Moza gear, you need to get off a wheel stand. I had my Fanatec CSLDD, which I've still got. I had it on a wheel stand for 2 weeks, and there was no way I was going to be able to stay along that way, those lines. It just was inappropriate beyond belief. So yeah, picking up a second-hand rig. I mean, easy for me. I live in a very populous part of the UK, so there's a good chance somebody was going to be selling a cheap rig near me. I'm pleased with what I got. It's not a profile rig, but it ain't bad. Neil, be more positive, man. You could be well in tomorrow at Donington. Just let the race come to you. Absolutely, Steve's got it right. If you just follow Steve, but don't try and keep up with him, it's fine. Try and keep up with him. It might end in tears. Right, let's concentrate back on the quali now. Let's get back off the auto cam and see who's doing what at the top of the grid. Sparks is still up here in P1. This 126.7 looks like it's going to stand. Wolfslender's not beaten his best yet either. He's not improved on that. Just popped to TV2 for that. So Wolfslender here is, where is he on the lap? Is he up? Wow, 3/10 up. He's absolutely flying. Let's stick with Wolfslender, see what he does. Rich Gasson as well on a flyer, and Larson. The track must have just gone optimum, but I can't see it on the screen. So that could well explain why we're seeing suddenly a lot better times. Hold on a sec. Where can I see? Optimum. There we go. Yeah, so track is now optimum for the last few minutes. It probably has been for a few minutes. Everyone's flying. See, Wolfslen has dropped a whole heap of time pushing on this lap. I mean, he was what? Oh no, okay. No, he's still 0.25 up, 0.3 up. Is this going to put him up to pole? Puts him P2, 126.8. That is super close. Super close. Larson's in P4. What's he going to do? He's improved his time, but not improved his position there. And where else are we looking on track? Dan Moffat's on a reasonable lap. Luciano Molino, let's see who's getting near the end of their lap. John Cullingworth has not improved. Gasson's dropped a little bit of time there as well. Let's see how brave he is through chicane. Yeah, he's lost a 10th there, which is a shame for him. He was really flying on that lap too. I think he was 3/10 up at one point. He's made a little bit back there, has he? Is he coming? No, he's gone off there. Dan Moffat has put himself up to P5. I think he may have been P5 before. What we should talk about is the Pro-Ams as well. Kamara's pushed it back up to head of Pro-Am in P6. He's not doing a lap at the moment, so there's no point in going to him. Everyone's putting in slightly better laps here. Who's on a flyer? Christopher's on a flyer. By his standards, he's gone up. He's nearly 4/10 up on his previous best. If he manages that, it will put him up to around, wow, it's going to put him up about 10 places if he can hold on to that. Let's just see what he does for the rest of the lap. Nobody else really flying at the moment. Positions are pretty much as they were. Holmberg actually P7 on a 127.3. But Mark Christopher, oh, what's happened there? He's dropped a little bit of his time. He's dropped all of his time. Oh no, disaster for him there. That is a shame. Yeah, he was on an absolute flyer, but he's absolutely kicking himself there. Let's have a little look at Holmberg. He is flying. He's nearly 3/10 up. He's on 27.3 already. He could be into the 26s with this if he plays it. He's got a fantastic final corner. It's going to be in the 26s. He's going to be putting himself up to the top 3, I think. P2, what an absolutely stunning lap from Holmberg there. 26.805. That's only 4/600ths behind Dave Sparks. Wolfslenner in third there as well. And that's pretty much the end of quali. Who's still on a lap? Rich Gasson still trying to put one together, but he's a 10th down. It's not going to happen for him. He's dropped off there. He's pulled off the lap. So yeah, Gasson P4. So he's second row. And Dave Marsh is still out there putting in a lap. Oh, he's hit a bit of traffic. He's behind, it's that Thomas in front of him. Let's just see here. He's still got 2/10 up. Can he hold it for the last corner? It's just gone wide. It's going to compromise Dave's line. Yeah, Dave tried to oh, he's lost it. He was compromised there. Dave in P14 there. So let's just talk about this and talk about what the significant changes are here. Dave Sparks in P1, okay, fine. Absolutely hilariously and quite crazy, our first Pro-Am driver is now in P2, Holmberg. He's put it on P2 with a 126.8. Change of classification coming your way. No, that is an absolutely stunning lap. And then Wolfslen has been demoted then to P3, so he's starting second row but he's behind. What's he behind there? He's behind a Ferrari and a Beamer. So Beamer starts all right. I think the Ferrari's starting a little bit better now, but it could be hopefully a cautious turn one for everybody. Otherwise, we don't want to see turn one collisions. It's not nice. Then Gasson's down in P4, but he's half a second behind Dave Sparks there. Yeah, but Holmberg putting in an absolutely cracking lap. Then it's so Gasson, Larson, Moffat. Kamara is second in class in the Pro-Ams. He's in P7. And then we're looking at John Collingworth, Chris Bourne, Luciano Marino rounding out the top 10. Then P3 in class, or starting in third in class, is Holmes in P11. Then Waite and Marsh, P4 in class, Cook in the AMG, switching between the two big boats, the AMG and the Bentley on a Sunday. But yeah, well, cool. So we've got a couple of minutes, haven't we, before we actually crack on. So we just have a quick look at the chat. Yep, that's fine. So we can just see the times there. You can see the top 19 on the screen. So yeah, just looking at the sorry guys, I'm trying to multitask, and we all know it's not our forte. What we got here? Yeah, Simon, how is the foot, man? I should have dragged you into commentary, shouldn't I, if you're watching? Forced you to come on stream with me and save my voice. Yeah, so yeah, I think you're recovering, aren't you? But still not well enough to race. Certainly not on normal brake pedal pressure, for sure. Yeah, 126 around here, Steve. It is stunning, isn't it? I mean, I think it's having balls of steel for a start, but knowing where you can cut, knowing where you can really, really push the limits of the track, I think that will do us. We've got a full formation lap. Nick Austin can do a 26 easy, nice, with F2 cars. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, Nikos. Simon's not racing. He's damaged the ligaments in his foot. I'm not racing. A number of reasons, but I had a bit of a health scare a few weeks back. I've had to sort of rebalance priorities, and it's not really the racing time. It's partly the energy, but it's practice time. And I'm not so talented that I can get by well in these races without practice. So I don't want to do it. It's not that I want to win. I just want to drive well and race well and not compromise anyone's day. And I can't guarantee doing that unless I put the practice in. So I'm not doing that for now. I joined the Sunday Championships. Gives me a bit of time on Sunday where I can put some time in and race. But yeah, that's why I'm not racing at the moment. Yeah, Steve, we're all teasing Steve about his pace, but we know yeah, Steve's pace isn't ridiculous. That's the thing. If you watch Steve race, he's massively consistent, and his race craft and his race pace, I think, are what gives him that extra half a second here, half a second there. Before you know it, there's a 5-second gap, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he should be in Group 1, be in Group 1." But he's still running sensible laps. They're not ridiculous. I think, you know, a few people tease Steve about that one. Sandbagger House, but yeah, I think he's a good person to be chasing in Group 2. That consistency, that ability to put race laps in that are pretty much as good as his quali laps. You know, that's a skill. That's a skill we'd all like to have. Right, let's just have a look at Helicam. We've got a full formation lap. I'm just going to take this opportunity to grab myself a glass of water. Just going to put it on autopilot for a minute, and I'll be back with you in a second, guys. Let's go to my stream maps. Hold on.
Green light, go, go, go.
Christ, we're off. So it wasn't a full lap. Oh no, Gasson's gone. What what happened there? Right. Sorry, guys. I thought it was a full lap. There is absolute carnage down the field. Let me just see if I can get this this back. Let's just go back 30 seconds, folks. I just want to see that start again. Sorry. Caught me completely unawares. What happened to Rich Gas on here? He's on the outside. He's lost it. He's just lost it on the curb on the outside. And I think that causes a bit of a knock on. No, not behind. It's behind him as well. There's a lot going on back there. I won't dwell on that. We'll just get back to the action as soon as we can. But, oh, that's a disaster for him. He's having some bad... I think he had an issue last night where he qualified P1 as well in the Sunday Championship and then and had issues on the first lap. So that's a shocking start. Unlucky. Right. Yeah, he went wide. Just put too much power down with the cold tyres, I think, Steve. The lack of formation lap, I think, caught him out as well, to be fair. So that is a unfortunate situation. Let's just get a bit nearer to the front now and see what we've got going on here. So, right. Dave Sparks in P1. I'll try and catch up with myself. I'm a little bit behind the curve here, aren't I? I only went to fill my water bottle. I'll come back and the race has started. See, there you go. You're commenting that Steve beat everyone in the triple tracks. That's because he's got good race pace, you see. So it comes down to, if you qualify ahead of him, you might not get ahead of you. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, it's hard to get a quali lap in on the triples. There's not enough time. Okay, so we got Sparks in P1, we got Wolfslener in P2, just a second behind, and that's all pretty much Linus Stern there. Let's just see where the action is. Oh, we got McNair here trying to fend off Neve. He's got him there, surely he's got him under brake in there for this third gear right. If he can just get the power down safely, it'd be okay. Yeah, but Jordan's still got, see that BMW out of corner's got so much power. No. Oh, that was very close. Nearly Carnage Part 2 there, wasn't it? Oh my word, this is absolutely packed, isn't it, in the mid pack here? Oh no, Gary's just caught the inside of Jordan. Oh, he straightened him up. There's carnage behind now. Plenty of people whipping past Gary there. So yeah, clip Jordan into the chicane there. Unlucky for Jordan. Oh, Jordan's getting an absolute battering here, isn't he? Bless him. The car looks still fairly straight though. It doesn't look any damage. Yeah, defensive line to that final corner as he's really trying to send a message that there is no room at the inside of him there. Absolutely. But yeah, well, it's tough. Look at that. It's so close towards the back of the field there. There's everyone fighting for it, and Gary as well is going to have the pace and want to be pushing through. Let's just see what's happening a little further ahead. Moffat and Larson are having a good battle here for P4 at the moment. I'll focus on the top three as time comes up to do so, trying to keep an eye on the gaps. But yeah, I get the feeling with Dan with that Beamer, he's usually pretty solid in it, but Larson had crazy pace. As we said, so I've got my headphones on too loud. Right. What are we looking at here? So yeah, Larson running P5 at the moment. Kamara behind him in P6. Just looking at the gaps now, see what's going on. Kamara under pressure now from Chris Bourne, hunted him down. Kamara again in the same position as last week. He needs to think about his race. He's P2 in class. Holmberg's in P3, so Wolfslener did get ahead of him at the start. Apologies, I missed that. Holmberg in P3 is first in class. He is being chased down by Dan Moffat, as you can see, a little bit further up the straight there. But at the moment, yeah, he's just got to think about his race, where he's finished in class in his championship, I think. Let's just have a little bit of a look slightly further down, see where things might be close. Rios is having a battle. He's always having a battle. Rios and Barham as he slid down, didn't he, after that messy chicane. So I think, again, he's probably got the pace on Adam if he can just put it down in the right place. And he's not picked up too much damage. I think we look at it that way. John Gabbert behind Gary as well, usually on race pace, pretty strong. So let's see how he does. We've got two very similar looking Ferraris there, haven't we? Certainly from the back. Same shade of green. That's John Gabbert. And then Waite behind him as well. What happened to weight, I can't tell you. He's P26. Yeah, I know he qualified a lot further up the field, so apologies, didn't catch that. Like I said, caught me a bit unawares. What are we looking at here? Okay, let's just nip up to the front because Peter has managed to gather some time back, 6/10 on Dave Sparks. He's putting a fastest lap as well, 27.6. Dave's last lap had an off track on it and was a 28.0, so clearly he's lost himself half a second on that last lap, putting the tyres off the track somewhere, having a bit of an issue. Let's just follow this for a second, I'll catch my breath. Let's just try and see what's all watching this. Who else are the movers and shakers at the moment? Moffat up to P4. Again, missed the overtake, apologies. But he's up to P4 past Larson. Kamara is still behind Larson by 1.2 seconds. Probably biding his time. Chris Bourne's 0.8 behind Kamara. So status quo there, nothing's really changed. Cullingworth and Holmes are having a bit of a battle here. Let's focus on this for a second. So John Cullingworth's really, I mean, serious race pace again. He's just seems like a very experienced driver. Certainly manages to put the pace down in the race. I say that, we get a massive slide on from the commentator's curse. Just as I say, he's got stupid pace, and then the back end steps out. Has given Holmes a bit of a run on him. It's given him something to look at, is Holmes. Holmes is third in Pro-Am, so I mean, yeah, he can push to get past because he is chasing down Kamara and Holmberger, second and first in class, I guess. But again, not wanting to take too many risks in this this multi-category race. That's a nice looking Audi, that Thunderbird's livery, isn't it? I've got to like it. It's a bit of a cracker. Let's have a look. Side view of that. Yeah, that's fantastic. Look at that. The logo works well on the side of the Audi. I like it. Nikos, you will get banned from chat with really bad puns. Well, no, with averagely bad puns, you'll get banned from chat. I think with really good puns, probably you get promoted in some form. Don't know, some kind of emote or something you'll get for that. How are we doing at the front? Ooh, okay. Larson's trying to get back on Moffat. I think Moffat took him, didn't he, the previous couple of laps. Stick with this, I might actually catch an overtake for a change. I quite like that Larson livery as well. That's looking good, isn't it? Predominantly black with a few features. I know it's a very dark purple, isn't it? Dan looks like he's got the legs on him there. Certainly up chicane, which is one of the few passing points on this track. How brave's Larson going to be coming through? How good is that Ferrari on the brakes? I've not really driven it. So BMW is very good on the brakes, or it certainly used to be. Kamara's really got Bourne very close up behind him now, 0.5. Might focus on that in a second. This camera is very good at very pretty things, but not so good at showing you the race, is it? Might go back to TB2 again. It seems to show me a little bit more. Okay, so let's just nip back to Chris Bourne chasing down Kamara here. So Kamara again, he's Pro-Am. He doesn't need really to fight Chris too hard if it's side by side, but obviously he'd like to be getting up to Holmberg in P3. The gap's pretty big now though. It's about 6-7 seconds for him to get up to Holmberg. So really, 25 minutes to go. I know you don't want to write the race off yet, but probably should just be looking at making sure he finishes P2 in class, because then Craig Holmes is P9, a few places behind, but only a couple of seconds. So in fact, you can see Holmes there, can't you, in the Thunderbirds livery. See, I will learn the drivers' names eventually, one day. Steve, that a level of pun beyond anything I've read this evening. Holmes under the hammer, I think is going to reach legendary status. Actually, it's pretty good. Don't know if anybody can beat that. As a bid for yeah, Chris Bourne for as you say, he could be podium, but not if he gets rear-ended by Cullingworth. So let's see how that works out. But it's a problem now, is he's chasing down Kamara. He's got to put the pressure on because John's looking really spicy. Very late on the brakes. That BMW seems really hooked up mid-corner, doesn't it? How's he putting the power down after that? It's pretty good. Wolfslender's still a second behind Dave Sparks in first, so I won't focus on them just yet. The gaps are pretty stable, and it's Moffat and Larson still going for it. You can just see them ahead on track. Let's just pop up to them again. Dan Moffat trying to keep Larson behind him there. That's the wrong view. Ah, that's the one, the rear wing view. Speed! Speed, it's all speed. Yeah, this is a spicy one, isn't it? It's been running right since the start of the race. They both avoided the carnage at the start. So they're really pushing. Wolf Slender's 1:27.6 is the best. That's a fast lap, isn't it, in race pace? But Sparks did a 1:27.4, but it was invalid. But I mean, they're still going to put him ahead on track. So they are both really similar on pace. Holmberg 1:27.7 in the Pro-Am category. That is stupid pace at Donnington for the Pro-Ams, but fantastic. There are going to be tracks which are drivers' favourite tracks. I've got the same thing with Kyalami, and everyone's got a track where they're a good half a second faster than they've any right to be. Maybe a second at some places. It's just the way it runs. It looks like we're looking at Holmberg here, really being at a track that suits his driving and is a cracking track for him. So good on him. Let's look at this. There's some close battles down here. In fact, let's just look at Molino. He's trying to hold off Marsh. Both in the Porsches. Both putting in pretty good times at 29. What we got there last lap? 29. Best 28. Low 28s for these guys in the Porkers. So having a pretty good battle for P10 just there. Let's look at what else is close on track. It's really between P5 to 8 that are super close. Everyone behind Dan Moffat. So Dan's head on track. I'm just going to nip back a little second because it's getting really close. John Gabbett, I think, if he got ahead of Aldhouse and is now chasing down. No, he was chasing Rios before, wasn't he? Not quite sure on that front. Gary Barham's a little bit up the road now as well, as you'd expect if he's got his laps back together after the incident in lap 2. John's got a great run here, surely. He's got to be putting Adam under pressure. Oh, and they're both this side by side. 3 wide. It's not going to end well. Oh, no, John, to be fair, that was very kind of John to back out of that. I think had he kept his foot in, could have put Adam under some serious pressure there. Maybe not through the corner, but certainly on exit. Let's just see how this works out. This is super close, isn't it? Keeping an eye on the gap at the front. Wolfslender's lost a second to Sparks. He's 2.2 behind now. Nothing super close. And I'll stay on these guys because it's nice to feature lots of luminous green and yellow on the game. You know, why not? There's some pretty good liveries, actually. Adam Rios' new livery, every attempt to avoid being punted in the bright yellow and bright green. It's, I think under his rear wing as well, if you look closely, it says back off. So yeah, you're right, Steve. It was smart driving. John knew when to get out of it. There was no way that was going to work into there. And it's too high risk as well, because somebody's going to end up either running wide or getting pushed wide, aren't they? At that third gear right. I don't know my corner names. Yeah. We'll have a little bit of a look back up the field in a second. Still close up. I'm just going to focus on... he's back to fraction now. Brown is P4 in class. He's ahead of Hellstrom. Hellstrom was putting him under a lot of pressure, but he seems to have backed off a bit now. Let's just look at what else is close. Back to here. Thomas. What happened to John there? John's lost a bit of time. Thomas is really putting him under some pressure. I'd say John and Thomas. Thomas with an undamaged car probably has the pace a little on John. Looks like he's got quite a bit of rear end and front end damage on that Ferrari though, so he's nursing that car, I think, Thomas. I missed the incident again. I was off fetching water when we started the race. But yeah, I think John's car's looking pretty stable. Thomas is looking like a bit of a handful, to be honest. Okay, looking down the field. Still Rios there, holding on for dear life, battling for the coveted and sought after P22. But why not? It's a race. You've got to keep racing. Andy Aldhouse back there as well. Now Andy, I know, has got some pace as well, so maybe he had an instant near the start, certainly in the pro category, running in P23 with weight behind him in P24. Both trying to drive pretty respectfully, but clearly on a good day they've got the pace to be ahead of a lot of these guys, so they must have had a lot of incidents at the start. If they stop fighting each other, maybe they can push Adam. Nip up to P6 now. Kamara's still in P6 doing a valiant job. Chris Bourne's still, don't know, I see a bit of a pattern here. He tends to bide his time and then push, I think, in the last 5 minutes of the race. We'll see how that goes tonight, though. I don't know if the AMG really is that great around Donny. I would imagine it's a bit of a handful, a bit like, I don't know if the Bentley would be as well. The Ferrari's OP everywhere, but we don't talk about that, do we, Steve? Oh, Holmes under a bit of pressure here. Molino's looking like he's got his race pace. He's got a really good line through the exit there. Can he get the power down? The Audi's still got good straight line speed, though. You would think. Yeah, he's not under pressure into T1 there, but he might be on the exit. Again, this point in the race, over halfway through, the Audi and its rear tyres might be starting to have a bit of a falling out. We'll see. Craig's he's driven a pretty good race. I'm still amazed he's managing to get this pace out of the Audi, to be fair. And again, P3 in class in that Audi. Good work. He's obviously got a setup that's working for him, and around Donnington, all credit to him, because I'd be doing donuts by now in that car. Let's have a little bit of a look further back, because Colin McNair in the old JPS livery, what a fantastic livery that is. Beautiful livery. Is under a bit of pressure from Mr. Neve, 0.3 behind him there. What are we running then, Colin? You're running fifth in class, and then everyone behind you is in class as well. So P16 down to 21 are all in Pro-Am. Colin pushing it wide there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold that line. Oh no, it's not going to be a who breaks last. I think Colin might have to back off here, and he does. He does the wise thing. Age and intelligence are key. Colin realises that going too wide through that chicane rarely ends in an amicable experience, and usually ends in somebody having to type a lot of comments in race apologies. So probably a wise choice. I don't know, it looks like he's picked up some damage too, looking at the front end of that Beamer. More often than not, has a little bit of front end damage on that livery. I think it shows it up as well. So yeah, he's clearly not having his, the front end of that car's looking a bit bent, isn't it? So he must have had a front end impact, so he's probably going to have understeer on the exits as well. That's what it looked like there for sure. He's lost a couple of tenths through T1, hasn't he? In the series, again, look, you can see he's having to absolutely hoy it into that corner to get the rotation. And then the Ferrari's going to catch on him through here as well, even though he's got some damage as Mark Christopher. Still catch him through there. Just threw my water into the bin. It's a very convincing illusion, Mr. House, if the Ferrari OP is an illusion. It seems to be an illusion in our championship tables as well, and in every other race ever. But I said we don't talk about it. We do not talk about it. It is fine. Everything is fine. The Jag and the Ferrari are equal on pace. That's all we need to know. Right, let's have a look back at the front, see what's going on. In fact, just Kamara P6. Chris is looking closer than before. He's only a couple of tenths, 3 tenths behind there, but again, Kamara seems to be driving a sensible race. Top end of the field there. Holmes and Marsh battling it out again. Yeah, but this just looks like a rerun of the last lap, doesn't it? Let's see if he gets the power down the Audi again, and he does. And he's looking good. Okay. Any new liveries I need to have a look at? Post them in chat. I am paying attention. Give me a shout. I will show them on screen. Peter's not got Sparks' number, has he? Sparks is 1.6 ahead of Wolfslener. It's very quiet at the front, so I've not really focused on it. And they've both got, particularly Sparks' livery. It's a stunner, isn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. And Wolfslener, I mean, he's keeping him honest, isn't he? Got to look at it that way. But look at this gap. These two guys, they're putting in 27, low 27s Sparks put in a 1:27.0 on an earlier lap. Can't see what lap it was. 27.1 for Wall Centre. Closest behind that on a best lap is 27.6, 27.7 from Cullingworth, Moffat, Larson. So a few people, you know, really good laps, but it's a different race, isn't it? These two up front have just got a big, oh, what's happened to Hellstrom there? He's had an incident. Let's just go back and see what happened here to Mr. Hellstrom. Sorry for the blushes. Oof. He's just pulled off the track. What's that? Because he's got a drive through. Ooh. Okay. Not sure. Oh no, he's just pulled off the track. I wonder what happened there. 'Tis a mystery. 'Tis a mystery. Only asking him personally will find the answer for us. It's getting spicy up here, isn't it? Moffat and Holmberg with Larson right up his diffuser. Looking spicy. And Kamara behind as well. What's happened to Chris there? Chris has had a moment. Chris, what happened? What happened, Chris? Oh, John put him under a lot of pressure. Oh, a bit more pressure than expected. Physical pressure through there. Beamer definitely at the base. John's off. He's left. He's left the building. It's like, look, I straightened you up. I'm off. Don't think Chris is going to be very happy about that. I think there might be a protest to the stewards there. Please do submit your reports to the stewards. Yeah, but that okay, no, fine. All is well, ladies and gentlemen. For John has slowed and given Chris the place back, as a good gentleman that he is. I did not speak ill of him. He speaks well of me, I'm sure. He's never raced me, but you know, we'll leave it there. But yeah, status quo is restored. Gentleman conduct has been established, and Chris is back ahead. But they're both down, aren't they? Both on pace, but also on places, because Chris was right up the chuff of Kamara in P5. So they're both compromised there. They lost a couple of places. Shame for them. Kamara now giving himself just a little bit of breathing room, hasn't he? But he's still got Holmberg behind him by 0.8. Where else is close here? John's still really close to Chris. I think he's backed off, obviously, to let Chris have the place back, but looks like he feels certainly towards the second half of this race or the last few minutes. The corner exits in particular look a bit tighter for him as well. Scissor on livery screen. Should go red or green for tomorrow. I like your green livery, Roger. I do like your green livery. The green black flag livery looks pretty good. A bit piratey. Have you got anything a bit more piratey? Anyone else remember that sketch? Bit more piratey. You can't get it on iPlayer now, it's been banned. Yeah, I think the stewards hold on. Hold on. He's in the pits. What have I missed? John's in the pits. I don't know what happened there, if he drove into the pits or if he was teleported to pits. I do not know. But that is, ooh, blimey. Don't know quite what happened there. Sorry, we're missing the action, aren't we? Let me just get back on track. Brown and Gasson. Gasson fighting his way back. Apologies, this will leap ahead in a second because I was 30 seconds behind. Brown's carrying some rear end damage there. Rich Gasson hunting him down. Gasson 0.5 behind, he's really on it. Nobody ahead of this P12, P11 fight is, sorry, P12, P13 fight is really close at the moment. So we'll stay where we are for now and see if Rich has got the better of Brown. Rich had some good racing last night as well. He had a bad start, Zolder, but really pushed back through the field, and I got out of his way at the hairpin at Zolder, and then 3 laps later he was 4 seconds up the road. So he's fast everywhere, and really is hunting down that Macca now. Looks good line through the both of them taking really good line there through the chicane. Rich just keeping it out wide. Ed's driving really defensive here. Yeah, but I think Rich really, putting him under quite a bit of pressure here. It's just got bonnet cam, because why not? Let's go bonnet cam with Rich. It's just following for a little bit of the lap. Just to mention what Holmberg had a really scruffy last lap. He lost 2 seconds. Molino's right on the back of him right now. I'll cut back to them in a second if I feel the need. In fact, let's cut to them right now. This is Molino chasing down Holmberg. So Holmberg had an issue, dropped 2 seconds on the previous lap, which has given Molino the smell of blood, I think. So getting into the last 10 minutes of this race, a little bit of rear end damage there for Holmberg as well, but I think he had that before, to be fair. Coming up now, he's not got pace on him into the chicane here, but let's just see if he can carry the speed. It's close there to a water wall. Yeah, trouble putting the power down there in that Porsche. How's it on the brakes? Brakes really late. That's a good line. Can he get it down on the exit? Yeah, it looks a bit squirrely on exit, doesn't it, that Porsche? No matter who's driving it, it looks a little bit tricky. Oh, he's gone a little wide. He's lost traction there, didn't he, Holmberg, as he exited the corner, but Molino didn't take advantage of that. We're both running very similar pace, giving him something to look at, just making him a little bit nervous. But no, he's not gonna beat him through there. So again, he's back down to 0.6 behind now. Looking at further up, Chris Bourne is closing a little on Molino, and the more Molino's held up by Ed, but if Molino can't get his pace, because he was running 27.7, so last lap was 28.2. Chris is running 27.7, so a couple of laps, he might not have the time, but he's only a couple of seconds behind. We'll just see if that pans out to anything. Daymarsh, I'll come back to Colin actually a second, because Colin has had an off. Sorry, Colin, to embarrass you. Oh, what's he got? Looks a little bit. It's good. He's gone wide. He's just put it on the grass and he's come round. Front end of that car already understeering for him, I'm sure, causing him a lot of problems. But yeah, let's get back to fights here at the front of the field. Marsh and Holmes still at it. It's like a fifth set tie break at Wimbledon at 10 o'clock at night, this one, isn't it? The lights are pretty much gone out. They're still there. 67 games to 66. Whoever can break the serve of the other is going to win, but nobody will be there to see it. No, it's a very good fight, and I'm sure they're enjoying the battle. Both racing really respectfully. Yeah, it's not closing up, but it's given Chris a chance to stretch his legs a little, hasn't it? And he's running fairly good pace. He's not closing that gap on Molino though to P7. It's just not happening for him. Wolf Slender's put in a couple of fast laps here, and either Dave's eased off a little bit, which I doubt, or Peter's really just putting in some really solid low 27s. Yeah, 27.2s, and Dave Sparks 27.5 on the last lap. So yeah, 2/10, 3/10 a lap. Suddenly it's only a second between these two. We'll come back to it as and when it gets closer. Just looking at Marsh and Holmes again. The battle of all time. Don't be taking those curbs, Craig, in that Audi. You know it doesn't like it. Oh, this is close back here as well. Christopher with a lot of front end damage there, or at least a little bit under pressure from Richard Cook. Let's just look at positions in class too. So yeah, Cook. So we got Neve ahead of Christopher in P5 in class. So this is for P5, 6, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All line astern here, including Gary Barham. Back up to P17. He was down in the 20s at one point, so he's had a good race after his earlier incident. I think he's done pretty well. So yeah, who's conspicuous by their absence? Let's just have a little look through the field. Oh, this is close again now. Molino really putting the pressure. Oh, sorry, not yeah. Molino putting the pressure on Holmberg here. Holmberg is second in Pro Am, and he is 4.5 seconds behind the leader of Pro-Am, Kamara. So at this point, depending on if Molino can keep his lines and get really up on him, letting Molino go isn't the worst thing. Chris Bourne is a big gap back to Chris Bourne behind Molino. So Holmberg will lose nothing if Molino puts him under pressure and gets past him. He will lose nothing. He will finish on the podium in silver, second spot in the Pro-Am category. Third in category is Craig Holmes, who is still chasing down Dave Marsh. But again, he might be chasing him down because he's having fun and he wants to race. But it's not going to get him anything. It's just going to get him up to P9 on track. And then it's a big gap behind that. So it's actually, yeah, and the gap's opened up there now a little bit between Marsh and Holmes. We've had an incident here, a bit of a coming together, I think, chaps. Let's just watch this. Richard Cook looks like he gets a good run as these two are fighting. Is it Christopher and... is that in the white car? Can't see who that is in the white car. Let's have a look at this. But it definitely... so this is where the same corner John Gabbett backs out of it because he saw... oh, Rich... oh, he's got it on the grass under braking. So he just lost it under braking. And unfortunately then speared his way into Mark Christopher. Mark... I think he was ambitious. It was side by side. But yeah, Rich Cook, he's let Mark Christopher go ahead as he should do, which is all fair on track. So fair play to you. I don't think anyone lost any... oh, must have lost some position, surely. Yeah. So that is a shame. They were having a really good battle there. Just back to everything else is pretty much line of stone as it was before, and the gap's fairly consistent. Brown and Gasson, P12, P13 are the closest two on track at the moment that I can see anyway. Still 29 guys on track at the moment. Sparks is putting in 27.2s now, so he's stabilised that gap to P2 Wolfslener. Let's just run through the top 10 whilst we're watching this, and let's watch this from Gasson's perspective again, because hell, why not? Oh no, so he just got him there. If he could have just seen a gap through, he would have definitely had Ed at that point. Ed really getting out of shape there, snaking along the track. It's like an anaconda going up the straight. Rich backs off a little bit there, just gives Ed the benefit of the doubt. I mean, what else can he do? He can't push him around that corner, can he? So let's just look at the top 10 whilst we're watching this attrition of tyres play out. Looks to me like that Macca's pretty much done on the rears, but let's see what Rich can do. P13. Trevor Waite's got a drive through P16. He must have had off tracks because I didn't see an incident there. Yeah, Rich has kind of backed off there with only a couple of minutes to go. I wonder if he's going to give it another push. Let's stick with him and see. So let's just run through the top 10, talk through them. So top 3, as we kind of would have expected, we've got Sparks, Wolf, Slenner and Moffat. P4 is Larson. He's had a really good race. He's 4 seconds behind Moffat, so he's not challenging there. P5, leader in Pro-Am class. Kamara, he was P5 or 6 last week as well before he took more curb than his car was set up to take. Let's put it that way. And then exited stage left in a hurry, coming down the hill at Watkins Glen. Another good run for Rich Gasson here, but he's be unwise to try and take him into this tour. Let's see if he can get a good exit this time. He's backed off a little. Definitely got the traction down better than Ed. Ed's gone really wide there, and Rich Gasson has got him. Yeah, so he's definitely got him that time. I think Ed knew he'd run wide. He was trying to keep the power on. It just wasn't going to happen for him there. So Rich Gasson up to P12 on a recovery drive after that first lap. Just taking too much curb with the cold tyres, spinning it up. Luckily, I don't think he took too many people out. It was it ended up okay. But yeah, Rich Gasson now ahead. Let's just get back to Marsh. Oh look, Marsh and Holmes are still battling at 0.5 of a second apart. What were the chances of that happening? Juice. Advantage. Marsh. 76 games to 75. How we look at the front of the field. So we got Sparks, Wolfslener, Moffat, Larson. Let's have a look at Larson because I like the livery. Why not? Let's have a look at the livery. Then we got Kamara in P5. Followed 2.6 by Holmberg. And another, that's yeah, shiny livery as well. Very nice. Like it. Molino, bit more traditional on the Porker livery there. Chris Bourne only 1.1 behind Molino, but I don't think he's got time. We're going to be on the last lap, this lap round, aren't we? In fact, is that it? That could be it. he's finished the race. He only had 3 seconds before the lights. So yeah, Wolfslener chasing him down there, I think, with under a second to go. But what a cracking race between those two guys. Looks like in the background there, Collins had another horrible issue. Moffat comes home P3, cracking race for him there. Larson coming in P4. And Kamara, fair play to Kamara, cracking P5 to keep him leader in class and not far behind him P6. Holmberg in class as well, so he is second in silver in the Pro-Am category. Then we're looking at Molino, Chris Bourne, good chase, but I think after that incident with John, his race was pretty much run. Oldhouse has had an incident on the last lap. Let's just see what happened to him there. So yeah, Molino, Chris Bourne, Dave Marsh, Craig Holmes, Paul Sims had a really quiet race in P11, Paul, tonight. Unexpected, so we'll maybe find out later what happened to him. Rich Gasson fighting back after his first lap incident to P12, and then we got a whole load of Pro-Ams just behind there. We've got a whole load of Pro-Ams of Brown, Neve, Craig Starkey P14, quiet race for Craig as well tonight. Gary Barham just behind Mark Christopher, Cook, Gabbert, Linares, Askham. And yeah, there were some tough incidents there. There were some tricky mistakes for sure. But I think what we saw was drivers giving it back where they caused the incident, which is always good to see. Not so close racing at the front, and everybody. Marsh finished ahead of Holmes by 0.5 seconds. What a surprise! So that was for P8. Marsh ahead of Holmes, but Holmes is P3 in class. So the podiums are Sparks, Wolfslener and Moffat for Pro. And then for the Pro-Am, starting in P5 and 6, Kamara, Holmberg and Holmes. Driving really well in that Audi. I mean, that's fantastic because I don't know how well the Audi goes here, but clearly pretty well there. We get some good laps, 28 dead. So yeah, people jumping off the server now. Enjoyed watching that, actually. It was a good race to watch. And yeah, we'll see you at the next one. I won't be cheers, Nikos. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, and yeah, Pirate Memory Games, ages 4 to 8. I think it's just unforgettable line, isn't it? Anything a bit more piratey. Anyway, thank you for coming tonight, guys. As I know, not so many people get to watch it live, but I know plenty of people watch it after the race to see themselves in lights and then see themselves spin off the track, which is always good to watch. So yeah, John there apologising to Chris. That was unfortunate, wasn't it? But these things happen. It's a tough track. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see more off tracks and more incidents. So yeah, enjoyed that. Well raced, everybody. Fantastic turnout tonight. Couldn't be happier with that. If I'd raced, would have been 30. Even better. But yeah, maybe over time we'll see how we balance at the time. Thank you all for coming. Simon, next time I'm dragging you into chat if you're not racing. I'm gonna put you on the spot. See how you like that. But yeah, thanks for all coming tonight. And it's gonna be me, isn't it, on camera? Oh yeah. All right, everybody. But yeah, thanks very much for coming along tonight. Enjoyed doing that one. And hopefully I'll be able to do next Monday as well. Get the feeling, I think tomorrow, hopefully Chris might be able to commentate and drag somebody into commentary with him. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, we've got that one tomorrow, and then we've got Janetta's Wednesday night. We're just busy, aren't we? Always got something going on. Anyway, so congratulations Group 1, great race, and good luck to Group 2 tomorrow, and I will see you all soon. Thanks very much and good night.